Good morning, everybody. 5 degrees outside this morning, 20 in town. Tomorrow's supposed to be 10 in town, which means -5 or worse out here. So yes, we definitely will not be coming to town out here tonight. It's dark outside, so I'm going to get to go to work. I'm going to head to work. I have a thought for a conversation after work tonight, and I have some little errands to run. And then we'll find a place to camp up. It's all right. For right now, we will see you guys on the flip side. All right, guys. So this morning, they didn't have any diesel, I guess, at the gas station, so I didn't fill up the diesel tank. So we're doing that now. And I got thinking, it's only 20 degrees in town right now, which means roughly it's probably 10 or lower out. I want to see how cold it gets and see what the van is like. So we're going out. What the heck, you know? I don't have to be to work early, and I want to see how like 5, 10 below this van is. So we're going out there anyways. What the heck, guys? Like I said, it's already cold out, but we'll get a fire going, hang out for a little while, probably not very long, and we'll go and come back in. But yeah, I'm curious to see how the van does at like 5 to 10 below zero, because that's, you know, about 10 degrees colder than we've been in this van, because 2 is our low, and I want to see it even lower. So let's head. As soon as I fill the diesel, we will go head to the forest, waiting in line. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to camp. Balmy 27 degrees here, 23 in town when I left. One thing you'll probably say is, hey, idiot, why do you have your van door open? I like the van door open. I love my table. I like my setup here. And yes, people say, yo, you should get a table right here. I've thought about it, but it's just more garbage to have in the van, you know, and I just don't want more stuff in there. So I've thought about it, but if it got too cold, I wouldn't be outside. Well, I probably still would be. You know me, I love being outside. But I like my drop-down table. I mean, it's perfect for me. Holds my beverage, dinner, whatever I want, and it's perfect height, really, for me. I was curious about the battery charge tonight. So I did turn on the DC to DC breaker, and it went straight to trickle charge, and it was at 14.23 when I was driving, and right now it's at 13.4, but fridge is running. The batteries are at like 57%. I threw a screenshot in there right before this. They're self-heating, so they're keeping themselves warm. But solar charged it up today. It was back to 100%, which is what I had figured. But it was pretty cloudy when I got to work, and I never looked outside to see how sunny it got, so I wasn't sure how much of a charge I actually drew today. But it looked like it got full. So it is going to be extremely cold out here tonight. 5 to 10 below. So that's really why we came back. I want to see how the van is inside that cold. What the heck? You know, if you don't do it, you won't know. So we're doing it. Now, one thing I've thought I'm really starting to think hard about is between the cooking cabinet and the bed, I have the bench where I have those 2 totes that I just keep crud in. You know what I mean? No matter what, I always put stuff in there, and I would really like to have more storage, because in a van, you can't have too much storage. And I want more storage. And people have brought this up, and I've thought about it. Microwave. You know, I could get a cheap little 700 watt microwave for like 55, 60 bucks. Put that in the hutch, whatever, rack system I built above that space. Still have access to the bench underneath of it for the storage is in there. I could, then I could have a microwave. I could have a bigger spice rack, another row of those like totes or whatever, dry food storage. That would be nice to have a little more dry food storage. I get some of the stuff out of my water cabinet. That thing's jam-packed. But I don't know when I would do that. I mean, it wouldn't take long to do, really. Couple 2x4s going up, vertical. Attach it to the bed and to the cooking cabinet. And then just, basically just making a box, Then that would allow me to permanently mount my outdoor temperature sensor, so I wouldn't have to keep moving it all the time. I could mount my Renogy inverter controller in a better area where I'm going to put the electric plug. I've been holding off on because I just don't like putting it where it was going to go. I could put that on the side of that as well. It would give a lot more storage and usability of the kitchen area, I think. So that's something we're probably definitely going to do in the near future. I don't know when. I could do it out here, but I may just wait until we start going back to the parking lot again. It's a lot closer to town, and if I need something, I'm not driving quite far. This isn't too far from a town, but it's still, it's probably actually about the same to a hardware store. I don't know. Probably just a little further. But that would allow me to have so much more space right there in the kitchen area. And it's right now above that bench is just wasted space. I mean, the only nice thing about that bench is if somebody came over, they could sit in the bench, and I could sit on the ottoman, which has been moved into the front cab. With the cold temperatures, I didn't want the bathroom in the cab. I wanted it back behind the curtain. So it moved back to between the cooking cabinet and the water cabinet, so that if I need to use it, it's not, front cab temp. I'm actually thinking about leaving the drapes open tonight and heating that cab space. I don't know. I'd burn a lot more diesel probably, but it would keep that whole front cab warm. And I definitely won't have to have the exhaust vent open, I do not believe, tonight. And I think what I will do is also open the vent blowing on the floor open full. So it'll be splitting the heat to the garage and the front. So I get more heat. If I do that, though, I think I need to open the cab. because that would heat up the area, I think, just a little too quick. I don't know. We'll see. We're just gonna play it by ear tonight. When I go to bed, I'll just turn everything on and with a heater on, and kind of play it by ear. I've opened that cab up, or the curtain up, and it really doesn't seem to use that much more diesel than when I keep it closed, because I've got to open the vent and I'm sucking the heat out anyways. You know what I mean? And in the morning, when I open that cab up, the curtain, it's cold in there. It's really cold. So then I turn the car on to defrost the windows. I got to let it heat up. Well, if I leave the thing open, the curtain, excuse me, I shouldn't have to probably even really defrost the windows. Probably still would have to, because you got the covers in the windows. But at least to keep everything warmer. I don't know. Maybe we'll try it and see. What can go wrong, right? But I don't know. Well, the weather is supposed to change here in about 4 or 5 days. Supposed to get some weather in. Now, whether it's going to be warmer or colder and it'll be snow or rain, I don't know yet. But we're supposed to get some rain or precipitation. I haven't heard what the temp's going to be. I haven't looked. But we'll have to check that out. And that will mean probably will not be coming out here. So I don't know. But like I said, we just have to wait to see what the weather does, see what the weather forecast is. Like I said, it's going to be 5 to 10 below zero out here, Fahrenheit. So it's going to be toasty warm in a van. Somebody asked me as well if I thought a 2 or 3 kilowatt diesel heater would be enough for a smaller van. I mean, I know that's what most people use, so I guess obviously it would be. But mine at 8 kilowatts, most of the time it's running on very low. Depending if I have the fan set up, the exhaust fan on, and it's got that cold air from the floor and the door, it jumps up every once in a while. But it gives it a chance to oscillate low to high. One thing I realized I really wish I would have done is insulated underneath the water cabinet. I did not do that. The good thing is the heat flows underneath there and warms the inside of that cabinet pretty, from the underneath of it. And there's about an inch gap. Unfortunately, there are screws through it. So if I wanted to try to insulate it, I would have to pull the screws out. Then I could probably push a piece of pink foam board, you know what I mean, under there. So I may do that. I don't know. We'll see what the temps get like. I could probably try to put spray foam under there. But then if I ever wanted to change the layout, I'd have that, and that'd just be a mess. So I could probably just get some, even like a wool blanket, and just shove it in there with a rod, get around those screws and probably do the same thing. That's not a bad idea. There's actually, I saw when I was at Wally World last time, they have a fleece blanket on sale for like $1. I don't know if they have any of them left. They didn't have many the day I was there. But that wouldn't even be bad, just to shove that in there. But I actually think that air gap probably works better. Oh, because then the warm air gets under there. I don't know. But that blanket idea isn't a bad idea. I can shove it under there. And if I don't like it, just yank it back out. You know what I mean? Or if I really like it, unscrew it, slide a piece of foam board in there. That's probably a pretty good idea. I think maybe I'll do that. It'll just give it a little more insulation from the cold floor. Because I don't have any insulation in the floor. I have about 3/4 of an inch of plywood. I only wanted half, but I started out with 1/4 thinking that'd be enough, which it wasn't. So I added a half to it. So you got 3/4 of an inch of plywood. But that floor is cold in the morning. If the carpet's not on it, it's cold. So I know it's something. These are just other things that the mind is always thinking about doing. So when I wake up tonight, maybe I'll throw the camera on and give you updates of what the temperature is like outside and inside. Well, inside's going to be warm. Inside's going to be 60s no matter what, because the diesel heater will just ramp up a little more. But even when it was 2 degrees, it really wasn't running that hard. Except I think that night I left the the vent fan on, so it did use like 70, 3/4 of a tank, because it ran more steady. But we're not going to open that tonight. We're going to put our cover over it. And that little bit of carpet helps quite a bit as well. When you have it up there and you have your hand against it, you really don't feel, the cold from the lid. You open it and you feel it. It's not a great insulator, don't get me wrong, but just having that Velcroed around there does quite a bit. And like I hear other people say, it blocks the light. So, as you see, this thing's roaring. I had started it just before I sat down, and then you saw me put the little blocks in, and I stirred the pellets and added a little more pellet before I did that. And that seems to work perfect for this stove. All right, guys, I think I'm going to end it here for right now. I don't know if I'll wake up. Well, I know I will. But if I turn the camera on or not. So I'm going to end this here, and we will, you'll find out in the morning what the temps have been like in or outside. My sensor, receiver for the outside one that's up on top of the front is, I think the batteries are dying, because it really doesn't want to show. It's hard to get what the temperature is to see it. So I may switch those out, but I think those are AA's, and I don't have any AA's available. So hopefully we don't lose that. So I know what the temp is, you know what I mean? But, all right, guys. Thank you for watching, commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing. And again, all you new viewers and subscribers, thank you very much. And same to you, tried and true people who watch. I appreciate it. It helps the channel. And you guys have a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And we'll see you tomorrow on Jellybean Outdoors, unless we freeze to death. But pretty sure that's not going to happen. See you tomorrow.